And we're back. Factz Ova Feelingz. This is part 2, if you've been joining me on your Thursday. And again, the topic for tonight is choose a side. Choose a side. Everything is about tonight. You're going to choose a side. There's no more standing in the middle. That's over. Things have gotten elevated. People are frustrated. So it's time for you to choose a side. I bid you shalom. I bid you assalamu alaikum. I bid you peace and blessings. I bid you light and love. Let's jump right back into this. Right before the break, I'll let you all know that I was asked again to cover the gathering of the souls unto judgment. I'm in the book of 1 Enoch with the Yahweh's name restored. If it doesn't say with Yahweh's name restored, it is fake. Somewhere around chapter 22, when we left, I was talking about Enoch is being taken on a tour by the Kodash Madakim. If you don't know what the Kodash Madakim are, then you need to do some learning. And he's been shown many things at the order of the Most High because he's going to be his scribe. He's going to write down everything that's going to happen. And it's written for a generation today. It was not written for them. It is written for this time that we live in right now. Major salute to all members of the NFAC. We are in full recruiting mode right now. And if you wish to join, we are increasing our numbers into the millions. We had 6,000 that joined since last night. If you are still interested in joining us, then shoot an email to info@blacknfac.com. Tell us why you want to join and give us your contact information. If you don't get a rejection letter, it means you passed the vetting process. That means that you're probably going to receive a notification to be in Lafayette, Louisiana on October the 3rd in proper uniform with the proper weapons so that you can be sworn in. And from there, you will then be assigned to one of the chapters that we've stood up. Big shout out to the Atlanta chapter, the all new ATL chapter that I was with this past weekend when we went to the funeral of Hassam Singa, who was the chairman of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, passed away. Rest in peace to that warrior. That was the Atlanta chapter that you saw with me. Everyone that you saw on my security detail was from the Atlanta chapter. They did a fantastic job. Everyone was 100% professional. And I just want to salute you all publicly. I was very impressed. The numbers were huge, very professional. And I'm expecting great things from the state of Georgia because a lot of things are going on in the 404. So here we are in chapter 22, verse 1. I'll start over again because we got into it right before the break. He says, "Then I went to another place, and he showed me on the west side a great and high mountain of hard rock. And inside its 4 beautiful corners, it had in it a deep, wide, and smooth thing which was rolling over. And the place was deep and dark to look at. And at that moment, Rufiel, one of the Kodesh Malakim who was with me, responded to me and he said, 'Those beautiful corners are here in order that the spirits of the souls of the dead should assemble into them. They're created so that the souls of the children should gather there.' And I asked Rufiel, the angel who was with me, and I said to him, this spirit, the voice, which is reaching into the heavens like this and making all of this noise, whose spirit is that?" And he answered me and he said, "This is the spirit which had left Abel, whom Cain, his brother, had killed. And it continues to sue him until all of Cain's seed is exterminated from the face of the earth. And his seed has disintegrated from among the seed of the people." I got to stop and break this down for somebody. You see, a lot of people who don't study the true scriptures, don't understand that Cain and Abel had two different fathers. Oh, sisters, you know I'm about to bust your bubble right here. See, a lot of people were like, well, damn, that was his brother. He killed his brother. That wasn't his brother. That was his half brother. Because at the end of the day, if you go back and you study the scriptures, you'll find out that Eve slept with Azazel, another one of the Kodesh Madakim, and she bore a Nephilim, and that Nephilim killed Abel. That is why when he says his seed has to be erased from the world, that means that everyone who descended from the Nephilim bloodline, which came out of an unintended union of spiritual beings and flesh beings, half and half, that until they are erased from this planet, that we will never see salvation. Do you want to guess whose bloodline they're talking about? Do you want to know what creature they're talking about? Think about the only creature that walks this earth that the earth is not friendly to. Think about the only creature that the sun is hostile to when this is an organ that works along with it. Think about who has raped, robbed, and pillaged and destroyed every semblance of culture that existed that made this planet great. And then you can begin to understand what they mean when they say right here, it continues to sue him until all of Cain's seed is exterminated from the face of the earth, and his seed has disintegrated from among the seed of the people. Notice they stuck the word disintegrated. That means that not only will you kill every last one of them, but whoever is left that even has the DNA in them, they will die off. Well, ain't it strange that a certain group ain't reproducing no more, that now their numbers are starting to decline, that they're trying to hold on to power any way they can because they're finding out that they are genorecessive. I'm not being racist. I'm being factual because they don't want you to know the truth. Because if you did, we would realize that we ain't got to do nothing. Stop marrying them. Stop sleeping with them. Stop mating with them. Stop sitting around in your goddamn feelings and not realizing that you're prolonging the agony of all of us who are the descendants of Abel. It goes on here to say, I'm in 22:8 if y'all still rocking with me. At that moment, I raised the question regarding him and regarding the judgment of all. For what reason is one separated from the other? Now listen to what he's asking. He's looking at all of the souls, but they're separated. Why are they separated? What's going on here? Well, to be honest, he said, well, the reason that they're separated, these three have been made in order that the spirits of the dead might be separated. And in the manner in which the souls of the righteous are separated by this spring of water with light upon it. In like manner, the sinners are set apart when they die, and they're buried in the earth, and judgment has not been executed upon them in their lifetime. Upon this great pain, until the great day of judgment, and to those who curse, there will be a plague. Can you say pandemic? And pain forever. In the retribution of their spirits, they will bind them there forever, even from the beginning of this world. And in this manner is a separation made for the souls of those who make this suit and those who disclose concerning destruction as they were killed in the days of the sinners. You know what they're trying to tell you? They got y'all separated. Such has been made for the souls of people who are not righteous, but sinners and perfect criminals. Listen what they said. You got the righteous over here. You got the sinners, people who made mistakes. But over here, you got what they call perfect criminals. That meant that, listen to this. There are no perfect people, but some of y'all are perfect criminals. Perfect. They got a special place for you. The beautiful part about all of this, when I read this out to you, since someone asked me to cover this again, such has been made. They shall all be together with other criminals who are like them and whose souls will not be killed on the day of judgment, but they won't rise from there either. You're going to be with people just like you. Just like you. Think about that. There is no straight trip to hell. Don't you believe that shit they made up? And there ain't no straight path to any of the 10 heavens. No, you go to Sheol to wait. And based on what you've done here, it's going to determine where you wait there. Because when the judgment comes, and we've talked about this before, that when the judgment comes, everybody is going to rise. Oh, everybody got to go stand up there. Everybody. So don't be sitting around talking about, I know I'm going to heaven. Really? Then maybe you need to go and listen to the series I did on One Comes and what happens at the judgment. The other thing that I want to highlight in this particular piece, and some of us got me on this trip right here, y'all asked for it, so here it is. I'm only giving you this because you asked for it. I'm only giving it to you because you asked for it. It goes on further in chapter 62 to say that, so he will deliver them to the Malachim for punishment in order that the vengeance shall be executed on them, the oppressors of his children and his elect ones. It shall become quite a scene for my righteous and elect ones. They shall rejoice over the kings, the governors, the high officials, and the landlords, because the wrath of Yahweh of hosts shall rest upon them, and his sword shall obtain from them a sacrifice. The righteous and the elect ones shall be saved on that day, and from thenceforth they shall never see the face of their oppressors ever again. If you don't know what I just read to you, that is him saying, not only will you fight them, not only will you be victorious against them, but you will leave, underline, leave, and you will never see them again. The most ignorant thing I heard today from a black person was the person that wrote me, I'm not going anywhere. This is our land and we built it. You don't own shit. Nothing. But this is yours. Okay, it's yours. Okay, it's yours, huh? No, you didn't build it. You were enslaved to build it. That means you didn't build it. Your ancestors was beat, raped, and killed and made to do it. You didn't build a damn thing. So you don't own anything. So unless you're ready to go to all out war for this land, which I already told y'all is a suicide move, you better follow what the Most High said and get yourselves together to be prepared to fight and defend yourself to get the hell out of here. And I hate to tell it to you that way, but if we were sitting in the slave master church, most of y'all be talking about, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. Because that's how they control you. Now, let me jump ahead real quick so I can get out of this, because I know a lot of y'all is condemning you and you don't want to hear this. All you want to know, because see, let me tell you what you're doing right now. Let me tell you what you're doing. You're being distracted by earthly things. Yes, it is a tragedy what happened with Breonna Taylor, but that is the trial and tribulation of one human being. And while everything else is happening around you that you should be paying attention to, that is going to affect your destiny, y'all giving all your attention to that. While the people who did it to you, they're not. They're focused on these things right here. Remember what is written. Keep your mind focused on things above you, not to the left and to the right. Don't worry about your horizontal. Focus on your vertical. Somewhere around chapter 103, if y'all still with me, somebody check me, grab your book and check it out. He says, now to the righteous and the kind ones during their lifetime, do not say. Don't say what we're going to be saying. You know what we're saying right now? See, they wrote this thing 2,000-3,000 years ago and they hitting the nail on the head today. I couldn't have wrote it no better myself. This is what we saying. In the days of our toil, we have surely suffered hardships and have experienced every trouble. We have faced many evil things and have become consumed. We have died and we've become few. We're characterized by the littleness of our spirit. We have been destroyed and we have found none whatsoever to help us with the word or otherwise. We've been tortured and destroyed and could not even hope to see life from one day to the other. We hoped to be the head and have become the tail. We have moiled as we have toiled, but had no authority over our own toil. We have become the victuals of sinners and the oppressors, and they've made their yoke heavy upon us. Those who hate us, while goading us and encompassing us, have become masters over us, who have bowed our necks to those who hate us, but they had no pity when we did. I got to say this again, because this is just what happened to us yesterday. Those who hate us, those who hate your very being, even though they smile in your face and call themselves your allies, their kind hates you. Deal with it. You want to live in a world where it's kumbaya. The only time we had a world where it was kumbaya was when we dominated this entire world and we kept the wild man at bay. But it says those who hate us while goading us. You see, they messing with you. They talking smack at you. They poking you. They daring you. They saying crazy stuff to you. They coming out and doing stuff to your people. Like I keep telling y'all, don't fall for the bait. They putting threats out. They saying they dare you to come here. They trying to do something to trigger you, to make you act up. And all you silly ass Negroes that sitting around, when the NFAC gonna do something? When the NFAC gonna shoot somebody? When it's time to go now? You gonna let them goad you too, huh? You see, that's why you're not the NFAC, because your ass would be over this week. That'll be the end of that. It says right here, they're going to goad you while they are encompassing you. You know what encompassing means? It means surround you. You're outnumbered. You're outgunned. You're out everything. You're outland. You're outmanned. You're out everything. And they steady poking your ass, trying to get you to act up so they can bring the hammer down. What we have done is we have flipped the script on them. We jumped from they still in chapter 103. We all the way in chapter 112. They don't realize that what we realized was the only way that we're going to beat y'all is that we can't do this while you poking us. We can't do this while you got us encircling outnumbered. What we found out is on the outside of you, there are some more people that look like us. There's another nation that's down with us. There's a whole nother population that wants to link with us. All of a sudden, we found out that it's not you that got us surrounded. It is us that have you surrounded. And all we on the inside got to do is connect with the people on the outside. And now all of a sudden it's an issue. Do you want to know why they really doing all these international stories on the NFAC? It's not like they fascinated with bros with guns. Bros have had guns forever. They always got some shit on TV where you see what they call them warlords and all these, the Sandinistas and the guerrillas. They always showing you that on the news, but they never seen it in the United States. You know why? Because they know if it starts in the United States, it is the product of what they've been doing to us here. And they know that all our people on the outside, black people, let me help you out in case nobody never told you this. You're only 12% of the population in the United States, but white people are only 12% of the entire globe. You see how you flip that thing around? That 12%, I don't care how much y'all want to talk and play these silly ass games. You can't do nothing but play the game because you're outnumbered. But if you link with your brethren, if you link with other forces, if you align with other melanated people, if you build a coalition with your brothers and sisters, now they want to know what is going on. And that's happening right in front of your face. And a lot of y'all can't see past the United States. So when it goes down, and it will go down eventually, it ain't going to go down just in the United States. It's going to go down globally. And when it does go down globally, y'all don't never listen to me. This shit going in one ear and out the other. Y'all ain't come for all of this. Y'all don't believe none of this. Y'all can't believe a brother has come along that's telling you what you need to know. When it all goes down, it's you all here in the United States that have sat in denial. You bought property in denial. You got yourself a brand new condo in denial. You and that condo gonna burn at the same time. And if you think these people are your friends, you let us destroy their economy by exodus from this country. You let us destroy this peaceful place that they got simply by removing ourselves. When they no longer have our athletes to entertain them, when they no longer have our singers to entertain them, when they no longer have our actors and actresses to entertain them, when they no longer have our scholars and our inventors to help them out with stuff, when they no longer have our brawn to help them move heavy loads, when they no longer have the ability to tell us something like they own us with a hall monitor appointed ass when no one appointed them to anything. When you try to take all that away, you watch what they do to the ones that are left behind. Y'all ain't got to believe me. I'm going to sit back where I'm at and I'm going to watch the show. Because I've had it up to here with Negroes. We don't have a history of violence, but they do. We don't fear retaliation because we ain't did shit to nobody, but they do. You see, some people in this country have a guilt complex because they mama told them the truth about who they are. Unfortunately, blacks have an inferiority complex because it's been beaten and brainwashed into you. What do we have to do to get that off of you? You don't have what you need, black people. You don't. You're more concerned with property than addressing the issue. You see, we don't want any more token gestures from these people. People say that, well, what do we have? Well, let me go down the list. You have no leadership because you don't want to follow anyone, even when someone is trying to lead you somewhere for your own good. You don't want to unify because everybody thinks they know what to do. And if it's too many Indian chiefs, then we need a few Indians. What's going on with that? You don't want to follow anybody. Here's the craziest part. You don't want to kill anybody, but you're getting killed on the regular. You don't want to separate. And you don't want to demand anything with consequences. Political season is coming up. The president said that he ain't going to leave the White House. He ain't going nowhere. And he done told all his peoples that if I lose, get in the streets and act up. If they get in the streets and act up, pardon my language, what make you think your black ass gonna be safe? Now y'all wondering why the international community keeps trying to write a story about the black militia fighting the white militia over some damn election. We don't give a damn about that election. What we do give a damn about is if these people come out in the street and they want to take out their anger on black people, then you will see the NFAC go from doing formations and expressing shit to power and trying to put pressure on governments for justice. If they come out with that bullshit, we ain't gonna have no choice. But the sad part is, if we don't get our numbers up, that fight ain't gonna last long. And when they get done killing us, they gonna come after y'all scared ass. And then they'll have the country they always wanted. That's happening right now, 40 some days to go. So if you ain't joined the NFAC, I'd like to know what the hell you waiting on. Are you packing your bags and getting out the country? All right, that's cool. Get on. I say any black person right now that wants to leave the United States to go somewhere where racism is not prevalent, I salute you. They got programs in Ghana right now. They got programs down in Puerto Rico. But that's not even out of the United States. That's still a U.S. territory. They got programs over in Nigeria, the People's Republic of the Congo, Kenya. They got go somewhere. You ain't got to go with us, but don't sit here because your vote means nothing. Because a lot of y'all silly enough to sit there and say, well, I'm voting for Biden because he chose a black woman. She's not black. She's black when she wanna be. And on top of that, what have they promised to do for you? What have they promised to do for you? I don't mean get up there and give you a good speech and make you feel good and take pictures. What have they promised to do? Have they promised to do anything about police reform? Promised. Have they given the black community a promise that they'll not have a meeting about reparations, but start the process just mirroring the people they already paying in other groups? Have they promised you that? Have they promised that they're going to guarantee a job for all of us who are descendants of slavery that worked for 240 some years for free? Have they promised you anything? No, because you're sheep and you'll follow just to get along. Had it up to here with Negroes. And I hope y'all starting to feel like me, because if not, you're the Negro that I'm talking about. Our problems are systemic. Our problems are ingrained. You can't chant it away. You can't walk it away. And we don't need anybody to agree with us. Actions speak louder than words. Property over people, you got me messed up. Well, we're going to go out here and protest about it. Okay, blacks don't need to protest. You demonstrate. What you demonstrating? See, when you demonstrate, you're showing me something. I keep telling y'all, this is chess moves. And it's two different types of chess games going on. There's a chess move to liberation, but they got a chess move to martial law. You understand what I'm saying? People ask me all the time. They say, well, they got a plan. Well, what's this plan? The plan should be for them to purge their police forces of all of these races, demilitarize the police force, and then share the police authority with different groups. I don't think that it should just be one organization policing America. You know, the beauty of when I was in the military is that all of the military police companies were not the same. I used to watch one military police company come down to bust another police company. I'm like, well, ain't this some shit? They didn't have no kind of culture amongst them. Maybe that's what we need right about now. Maybe that's what we need. I don't know. But I'm moving through all of these different things in my head right now because I'm going to try to touch on quite a few things. Because Martin Luther King talked about his dream, even though in 1968 he said it was a nightmare, but nobody want to remember that shit, and then they killed him after that. But when I start thinking about the Bloods, the Crips, the Nation of Islam, all the motorcycle gangs, all the fraternities, all the gun associations, all the gun clubs, all the brothers, all the Hebrew Israelites, when I start thinking about all of these separate groups inside of this country, y'all wonder why I say, forget all of that. Just be black first. And then we can get somewhere. Then I can have my dream. My dream. You see, my dream is a lot more down to earth. My dream are neighborhoods that are being patrolled by armed blacks. Police that are shadowed by the black police force. Neighborhood crime that is prevented by the black police because they see it coming. Police that can be arrested by the citizens. People fighting back. An eye for an eye. Never start anything, but end everything. That's a dream. Why should that be a dream? In a place where this is supposed to be the land of equality. Bullshit. Y'all act like y'all got OCD up in here. I'm going to show you how much OCD you got. It was only a couple of months ago when we had a few situations that y'all always, every month you pissed about something new. So you can't never deal with the shit that already happened. Y'all remember when they beat the handcuffed man? Y'all remember that one? Y'all remember when they jumped on the man while the crowd was watching? Y'all remember when the police officers were beating the child? Y'all remember when the police officer took a woman down over a mask? Y'all remember when the police officer shot a man who was running? They shot him down. It happened all the time. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember when armed blacks invaded that Georgia neighborhood? Mm-hmm. Yet over in London, it's still going on. The police killed a man with a knife after they tased him 3 times. In Paris, the police killed a man with a knife while 3 officers held him down. You see, this is going on all around the world. That's why they don't want a worldwide response to the craziness that they're reaping on who? People that look just like you. What is the price of freedom? What's the price of freedom? If you scared, say you scared. Y'all heard my term. You comfortable in your captivity. But here's my question to every one of you. What your children gonna say about you? What your children gonna say about you? Because they looking at you right now. They see all of this stuff that's happening. What you think they gonna say about you? All the excuses you made to do the work. How you valued individualism over your own people. No, we good. Let's just stay here. They ain't got nothing to do with us. Y'all in denial about being free. You free, huh? Okay. Your speech is given to you. You say you got freedom of speech, but if you say the wrong thing, you going to jail. You say you free. Try to leave the country and come back. You need what? A passport. And they can withhold that from you so you can't leave. You free, huh? You think you free? Okay. The only time that the government cares is when the threat is bigger than them. Let me say it again. The only time the government cares is when the threat is bigger than them. You still a slave. And you're still making somebody else pay for your last fix. A global apology from every country that participated in the Portuguese slave trade. Reparations to be recognized virtually by countries. Our job is to make ourselves self-sufficient and become a supplier of mass materials, raw materials, and products. Our problem is we hate each other so much simply by saying, I don't know you. You got to know them to not hate them. Still doing business, though, with the people who lie to you. You trust people you don't know to do things for you, but you hate people who look like you. Throw away the whole movement. Why? Because you don't like somebody. Who's really not down for a new nation? I'm asking y'all right now. I want to know for real. I really don't think y'all down for it. I think a few people down for it, but the majority of y'all, you like the life that you got right now. You really believe that you got it made. You don't think that there should be a day of reckoning. Who believes in our own, having our own, determining our own? Don't you know that slaves used to be buried as property, not as people? And that once they freed you, they can figure out what to do with you. The answer is real simple. Leave us alone. Just leave us alone. We'll be okay. But your interference is the problem since day one. And you know what the crazy part about it is? Other races have adopted that same damn attitude. I had a Mexican brother get mad at me because I told him that the NFAC was only for the black community. He was like, well, that's it. I'm done. Really? Do you see me busting, kicking the doors down in every Cinco de Mayo celebration, coming in talking about, I got my business? No, that's not me. Ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm not going to kick the door down with a sombrero on talking about why you ain't got no brothers up in here. No. Y'all can stop that mixed meld, mind meld, kumbaya, a melting pot shit. That shit don't work. We done melted so much in the pot, you can't even find us no more. So it's time for us to strain ourselves out. But I think I've held y'all too long. I'm pretty sure y'all got better things to do than to listening to the ramblings of someone today told me was, you remind me of a sleeping prophet. Like, why is that? He says, because you've awakened everyone and they want you to go back to sleep. I think that I've held y'all too long on that. So I am going to wrap up a little early tonight. I know it's late out on the East Coast. I know it's after 11. I am going to say once again that when I get off of this live, I should expect to see many of you who have not already, who have the backbone, who have the fortitude, who not just sitting here talking about talk black man and that's about it. You see, my job is not to sit here and be your mental psychiatrist. My job is to be the coach to get you off the bench, motivate you to get on the team and play ball with the rest of us. If you are serious about us being liberated, if you're being serious about people really fearing and us, our retribution for the things they do to us, then yes, join us in the NFAC. Join us. It's not that hard. And then join us in Lafayette, Louisiana, because this is going to probably be the last stand of the NFAC until we work our way to the million guns formation. We got to show that we can get together in large numbers, y'all, because if we can't do that, then this is a waste of our time. And let me help you out. If it begins to look to me that you really don't want to do this, if it begins to look like you all really are just trying your best to stay here and keep tearing this down, then I am going to go with the goers. That's not everybody. Probably won't even be, it might just be about 144,000 of us. We will leave you. And I'm not going to look back. And I'm not going to care what happens to you. And I mean that. You can take it or leave it. It's time for you to make a decision. It's either time for you to join your race correctly and cut the bullshit short, or stay where you at and stand back and let us walk in our purpose and walk to wherever the hell we need to go. Because with things like what happened to Breonna Taylor still happening in 2020, after the shit show that they gave us with that bullshit justice, it is, if you don't see the writing on the wall now, then I don't know what the hell you waiting on. And we ain't leaving nobody behind if we can. I guarantee you, if 144,000 of us said we were leaving, and can we take the prisoners with us? Oh, they'll give us the prisoners. If we say, can we take the orphans with us? They'll give us the orphans. Except for those people who are making money in private prisons, they ain't letting nobody go nowhere. We might have to bust y'all up out that joint. But for the rest of y'all that's comfortable in this jacked up situation we in, then you deserve to stay where you at. Because see, I'm looking for black people. I'm looking for ancestral spirit people. I'm looking for people who still feel their racial rage. I'm looking for descendants of kings. I'm looking for descendants of queens. I'm looking for doctors, lawyers, architects, physicians. I'm looking for those people that can help rebuild a black civilization. What I'm not looking for are Negroes. Scary ass Negroes. You sicken me. That's all I got for y'all tonight. I hope I've enlightened someone, and I hope I've given someone something to think about. Because if you don't get it now, you got about 40 some odd days before all hell is going to break loose in this country. And when it does, don't be sitting there talking about, well, where's so-and-so and so? I think that's a poor excuse of a man to sit and ask where someone else is when you can get off your ass and do something yourself. I don't talk to the sisters about that because it's not the sister's job. I'm so honored that I have sisters. And by the way, I got a sidebar real quick. It's always a beautiful thing when one of us brings life into this world. It is another extension of our bloodline. Someone who's very special in my crew, I found out that they are having a baby. Even though they stand on the front line with me, they having a baby. And I'm not going to give away their names, but I want to congratulate them. They know who they are, them and their husband. I want to congratulate y'all. Job well done. You can stand down and have the baby. We will go to the front lines in your place because family and the bloodline is more important. That is what we're fighting for. That is what we're trying to protect. That is why we're here. And I'm so happy and I'm so proud of this young lady because she's pregnant, and I'm so happy. It ain't my baby, but I'm happy because This is someone that I know what kind of child you about to birth, because the DNA that's in you, that has the ancestral spirit in you, I know you're going to put it in that child. That's a young king, and we are waiting for him to show up. So I want to send congratulations out to you. You know who you are. I don't want to put their business out in the street so everybody know who they is. But at the end of the day, I want to make it plain. And I'm going to say this to you all one more time. We have to save our race. If we don't save our race, they're going to let us go extinct. And what will be left is a watered down version of what used to be here. And I'm not for that at all. Y'all have a good night. I was kind of thinking that maybe somebody would tell me whether or not. I'm not going to ask that question. No, I'll ask the question. I wasn't going to ask it. I was going to slide out, but I'm going to ask y'all a question. I'm going to ask y'all a question. Is it possible for us to get 1 million black people legally armed in one place? Is that realistic, or am I just dreaming? Can y'all let me know in the comments? Say you can get 1 million, Jay. Say you can get 1 million. I want to see, because people starting to make me think that it ain't never going to happen, that it couldn't happen, that black people today don't have that capability. Can we get 1 million? Can we actually demonstrate the population that we need to demonstrate so that we can be free? Can we get 1 million? Now, I don't want to hear that yes, we can shit. Y'all know who stole that, and he didn't do nothing for you. Somebody said, hell yes, you can get 1 million, Jay. Somebody said, yes, you can get 1 million. He said, they will be armed, just not legally. It's always got to be one. You come in there, there ain't going to be 1 million, bro, but them ain't going to be armed. I need 1 million armed. Somebody else said, well, who's going to count them? Who's going to run in the crowd to do something? You get 1 million people together, it wouldn't make a goddamn difference. Can we get 1 million? And I need to know, because if we can't get 1 million, then I don't want to waste my time. Y'all know what I'm saying? Real talk. Somebody help me out here, please. I don't know what else to tell y'all. But one thing I will tell you is that I will see y'all tomorrow evening. Factz Ova Feelingz. There will be no morning mental because I'm in some very important meetings tomorrow. If I sat online like I wanted to, then I couldn't get any of the work done that needs to be done for us. There is no limit to what we're doing. I don't believe that we can be stopped at this point, and I am never, ever, 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 ever going to break up with my people. Yeah, I'm still in love with you. It's just getting kind of tight. Somebody said 2 million. Now, 2 million. That's a situation. Real talk. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Remember, this is all in love. Don't take it personal. Take it as a people. In the meantime and in between time, I hope that what we're doing is the sunshine that you've been waiting on, because when the sun comes, remember, it's always darkest before the dawn, y'all. And it's time, and we're waiting for our sunshine to come. Because when our sunshine shows up, hopefully we'll be in a place where it's our home and we make the rules. And if anybody gets out of line, we can handle that. I salute all the members of the NFAC. I congratulate all the new 6,000 members of the NFAC that have joined us. And if you want to be a part of it, now is your time. We are now open for submissions. Again, info@blacknfac.com. And then after that, start making preparations to be in Lafayette, Louisiana. Details will be forthcoming. You know how we do it. Commanders, you will get the information. I'm going to see y'all later. Shalom.